A long time ago, there was a race of highly intelligent beings who had everything a person could ever want to have, and who were everything a person could ever want to be. They were strong, they were beautiful, they were kind, they were rational, and they were so intelligent that one day a boy was born who at the age of 30 was able to change reality purely by the power of his own thoughts. When he focused, he could make the birds speak the language of men. He could turn the skies the colour of emerald, and he could heal every sick person in the world by simply wishing them health. Such great power was given to him. His name was Clarental. One day, Clarental was having tea with his best friend Blieskastel in his beautiful, majestic house, the colour of sapphire and gold. And at one point in their conversation, profound and insightful as usual, he said, "You know, my friend, I do not believe we appreciate enough what we have and what we are. We take it all for granted. Imagine how life would be were we not as strong and beautiful and kind and rational and intelligent as we are." "You mean, my friend," Blieskastel said, "that theoretically we could have been a race of weak and ugly and angry and irrational and dim-witted creatures?" "Yes, and we could have had very small penises, too," Clarental added, "and we would be so ashamed of our bodies that we perhaps couldn't even bear the idea of leaving our homes without having any clothes on." "Oh, my friend, I do not think I could bear all this," Blieskastel confessed, "and I cannot even begin to imagine such an abomination." "Well, my friend, I've been thinking," Clarental pensively uttered. "Just as a brief experiment, just to satisfy our scientific curiosity, just to know how it would feel and just to appreciate more what we have and who we are, I was thinking that it might not be such a bad idea to change our perfect world, just for a few brief moments, and see what it would be like to be that kind of creature. As you know, I can alter reality, using nothing but my mind, and I believe that since nature gave me this precious gift, I simply must use it to its full extent. I will change all of us into the creatures I have just described, but only for a little while, only to take a brief look. After that, I will transform everything back using the power of my great mind, and nobody will have noticed anything." Both friends sat in silence. "Yes, this might truly be an experiment worth endeavouring, my friend," Blieskastel finally agreed. When both men went outside on the street, full of immaculate beings such as themselves, Clarental briefly closed his eyes, concentrated the entire power of his mind, and changed reality and everything that was part of it. And everybody around the two young men stopped being strong and beautiful and kind and rational and intelligent, including the two young men themselves. Clarental opened his eyes, looked around, saw the world around him, and said to Blieskastel, "I may be too hasty in making this suggestion, my friend, but it seems to me it is now time to turn everything back." "I couldn't agree more, my friend," Clarental replied, nodding gracefully. "People in this reality are far too... I really do not wish to sound insulting, but they are far too stupid and ugly, and oh, they are dreadful." Clarental closed his eyes, concentrated the entire power of his mind, which he hadn't much left in this new world he had just created, and when he opened his eyes, everything was still the same. Not a thing had changed back to the way it was. The people were still the same weak and ugly and angry and irrational and stupid creatures. "My friend," Clarental solemnly said, "it is with the deepest regret and sadness that I must inform you that I have just discovered a major flaw in my plan, which, if I am to be perfectly honest with you, might prove rather difficult to mend." "Oh, you know what? You're such a twat," his former best friend said, punched him in the stomach, put a plastic bag around his waist, and went to get a chicken quarter pounder.